The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council's chambers had witnessed the rise and fall of 1,000 species, but never had they trembled as they did now. Ambassador Zethkar of the hegemony watched through compound eyes as the human delegation entered, their soft footsteps echoing like thunderclaps in the vast hall. 3 years ago, the Council had made what they believed was a calculated decision. Humanity, the newest species to achieve faster-than-light travel, had grown too bold, too unpredictable. Their expansion rate alarmed the established powers. Their refusal to bow to superior civilizations was unseemly. The sanctions had been swift and brutal. Trade embargoes, blockades of human space, seizure of their colonial worlds. The message was clear: bend the knee or be broken. The Council expected capitulation within months. Humans were young, barely 2 centuries into their space age. Their technology was primitive compared to the hegemony's million-year civilization, or the ethereal collective's mastery of quantum mechanics. They possessed no great fleets, no ancient weapons, no psychic powers that could move mountains. What they had was something the Council had forgotten existed. Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's lead diplomat, stood before the assembled representatives of 47 species. She was unremarkable by galactic standards. No chitinous armor, no energy aura, no towering presence. Just a middle-aged human woman in a simple blue suit. "Honored counselors," she began, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustic design. 3 years ago, you sought to teach humanity its place in the universe. Today I come to inform you of the lessons we've learned. Zethkar's mandibles clicked nervously. Intelligence reports from the human quarantine zone had grown disturbing. When you cut off our trade routes, Chen continued, we learned to be self-sufficient. Every human world became a fortress of innovation. Our engineers didn't just maintain our technology, they improved it, exponentially. The holographic display behind her shimmered to life, showing technical schematics that made even the ancient ethereals lean forward in interest. Fusion drives that shouldn't be possible, shield generators that bent space-time, weapons that the Council's best minds couldn't comprehend. When you seized our colonies, Chen said, her tone still conversational, you inadvertently gave us a gift. You showed us your true nature. More importantly, you united every human faction under a single cause. Pirates, corporations, governments, all working together for the first time in our species' history. High ethereal Voss's then's energy form flickered with what might have been concern. Impossible. The psychological profiles indicated humans were too fractured, too individualistic to achieve true unity. Chen smiled, an expression that somehow made the temperature in the chamber seem to drop. You studied us for decades, but you fundamentally misunderstood what makes us human. Yes, we fight among ourselves. We argue, we compete, we sometimes hate each other. But when faced with an external threat, when someone tries to cage us, she paused, letting the words hang in the recycled air. We become something else entirely. The display changed, showing star charts. Red markers indicated human positions 3 years ago, scattered, isolated colonies and trade routes. Blue markers showed current human presence. The blue dominated nearly a quarter of the galaxy's spiral arm. You blockaded our space, Chen continued. So we went around you, through the void reaches that your species consider impassable, across the dark nebula where your ships fear to venture. We mapped new hyperspace routes through regions your civilizations abandoned as worthless. Every obstacle you put in our path became a highway we built ourselves. Supreme Commander Crix of the Dominion Warcast stood, his forearms gesturing aggressively. You dare threaten the Council? Your entire species could be eliminated with a single fleet deployment. Could you? Chen asked quietly. The display shifted again, showing fleet movements. Human vessels, thousands of them, had been massing just outside the galaxy's major trade routes. Not attacking, not even threatening, just waiting. Because the interesting thing about your ancient, powerful civilizations is that they've grown comfortable, predictable. Your trade routes haven't changed in millennia. Your patrol patterns follow algorithms we deciphered in the first year. Zethkar felt his secondary heart skip a beat as the implications became clear. The humans hadn't been hiding during their isolation. They'd been learning, studying, planning. You could destroy us, Chen acknowledged, but you'd have to destroy yourselves first. Every trade route, every supply line, every critical resource flow, they all pass through regions we now control. The Kepler junction that feeds 60 systems, we own it. The Procyon gate that connects the inner worlds to the rim, under human administration. The rare earth refineries of Vega Prime, our mining consortiums hold the leases. The chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien languages as the realization spread. The humans hadn't built an empire, they'd built a trap. And the council had walked into it willingly. But here's the truly beautiful part, Chen said, raising her voice slightly to cut through the noise. We don't want to rule you. We don't want to be like you, hoarding power and demanding submission. We just want to be left alone to grow, to explore, to become whatever we're capable of becoming. She gestured to her aide, who began distributing data tablets to the stunned council members. So here's our offer. Full restoration of trade and diplomatic relations. Human withdrawal from contested territories. A return to the status quo ante bellum. She paused, savoring the moment, in exchange for one simple concession. Supreme Commander Crix's voice was barely a whisper. What do you want? Chen's smile widened, and for a moment the council glimpsed something that made their ancient souls shiver. Not cruelty, not malice, but something far more terrifying, potential. Unlimited, unrestrained human potential. We want you to stop trying to control us. Stop trying to manage us. Stop trying to predict us. Just let us be human. The silence that followed was deafening. One by one, the council members began to bow their heads in acceptance. Not in defeat. That would imply they'd fought a war they could have won. This was something else entirely. This was submission to a force of nature they'd been foolish enough to try to contain. As the human delegation filed out of the chamber, leaving behind agreements and treaties that would reshape galactic politics for millennia, High Ethereal Voss then sent a single thought to his fellow counselors. We tried to break them. Instead, we taught them how strong they really were. The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council had witnessed the rise and fall of 1,000 species. Today, they witnessed the birth of something unprecedented, a species that refused to fall at all.